Thanks a lot, Ed. Letting your Facebook and Twitter friends know what you're thinking and doing at all times is a great way to keep in touch, right? But there are some things you should think twice about posting. Joining us this morning with details is Dan Thompson from Claris Networks. Thanks so much for being with us.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, so I remember a couple weeks ago we did this story about Facebook and how a person posted on their Facebook page they were out of town and they think that might be why their house got robbed. So this is a really important topic.
Yeah.
So let's start talking about the status updates on these social networking sites.
Sure. Yeah, that's a great place to start. And like you mentioned, it's kind of hard to really put your finger on what it is that allowed these people's house to get broken into, and authorities and investigators are kind of quick to say, well, you know, they did talk about it on Facebook and then their house got broken into, but we're not really sure if that's where the criminals found out that they were out of town or not. But there's definitely been some cases in the past where teens posting online, like on MySpace and things like that, that they were going out of town and their house was broken into, and the people who did it, who eventually got caught for it, admitted, yeah, I found out that they were out of town on MySpace. So clearly it does happen, but now whether or not it's, you know, really a pandemic, something that we really need to worry about, you know, that kind of remains to be seen, but it definitely begs the question, is this something that I should be worried about? And I think legitimately so. It's at least something that you should consider, which is really kind of what I wanted to talk about this morning, is just some things, just throw out some ideas of, hey, you know, maybe you hadn't thought about this, but this is what you're telling literally the world, potentially, about yourself, and is that really such a great idea? And I think the status updates is a great place to start with that, because, you know, some people just will spew out and say things, and it's like, wow, I don't know that I really would have said that in public. You know what I mean? But it's, you know, to them, they're just talking to their friends, and they may not realize that there's other people out there who are reading this that are going, oh, wow, you know, I don't know that I would have said that. But, you know, admittedly, I may have to tell on myself a little bit here. I recently went on vacation. I did personally talk about it on Facebook. I, however, did not talk about it on Twitter. And my reasoning behind all that is because, well, Facebook, I at least know these people somehow. On Twitter, I don't have a clue who these people are.
Okay, so anybody can follow you on Twitter.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. So it's not locked down at all, and literally anybody on the whole planet could look it up and see, oh, Dan's out of town, great, he's going to be gone for 2 weeks, you know?
Well, let's hope your friend is not going to
right, sure. I mean, and I think, you know, I think a lot of the innocence of the whole thing is people just assume, well, you know, I know these people, even though I haven't seen them since grade school. They're probably trustworthy people. They're not going to break into my house. But obviously, like you said, with these news stories, it happens sometimes.
You just never know. My goodness.
Yeah, right. So let's talk about some other ideas as well. So we've all seen the Facebook apps that get pushed out there, and some people may not be thinking about exactly what it is that says about you. For example, the family tree application. Now, I don't know, are your parents on Facebook yet?
No.
Okay, well, mine are.
Okay.
And you know how the trend is when you're on there, if you're married, you generally will put your maiden name and your last name, right?
Yeah.
Just so old friends from high school or whatever that don't know your new married name can find you. Well, so let's think about this for a minute. If you've got the family tree application on there, and your mom's on there, and her maiden name is listed, you've just told the whole world, or at least all your friends, what your mother's maiden name is, which is like the key question for credit card companies.
Oh, that's so true. I never even thought
about
that.
Right, exactly. And I don't think a lot of people do. And then add on to that people will put on their birth date and year. I mean, you've really just told them everything that they need to know to steal your credit cards.
Yeah.
Not the best idea.
Or to get in your security system.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. So with that information, I could call your credit card company, tell them that I changed my address, and they'll mail me one of your credit cards.
Wow.
Yeah, it's not a good idea.
No, my goodness, there's so many things to think about. I mean, social networking is definitely sweeping the world, really. Yeah. It's everywhere. Everybody has a Facebook page, except for my parents, apparently.
Right. Yeah, well, my mom's on there, so I mean, but luckily she doesn't have her maiden name listed. So, you know, I think some of the, maybe some of the older generations are so far removed from their maiden names that it doesn't really occur to them that maybe that's what they should do. But, you know, clearly as the baby boomers are really taking over the social networks, which is documented, that's what's going on. That's kind of the move. So as they get on there, they'll start to want to find these older and older friends from back in elementary school, and they'll start to do that. Well, you know, if you've got things listed like you comment, you know, consistently on your children's page, you might want to think about that before, because you're telling really a lot about, you know, giving away some information that somebody may be using as a passcode.
Yeah, gosh, it's scary. Dan, thanks so much for being with us. This is such great information.
Yeah, sure.
So many things to think about. Be careful out there, everybody. And friend me on Facebook. I need Knoxville friends. I've got all Cleveland friends. Abby Ham on Facebook. All right, we're back with more 10 News Today after this.